Yo, what's happening? Okay, so I guess we know what we're doing, guys. Yep, I have decided to make a podcast. Ain't it crazy, bruh? Yep, another rapper with another podcast. Thanks for joining the bandwagon so goddamn late. But better late than never. Alright, so this is episode 0, so it's technically not the first episode of the podcast. It's me it's me introducing why I'm doing this shit first of all. Like my intentions, and also get out my comfort zone. Look, if it was up to me, I would just be rapping on boom bap beats every day and just trying to be the best rapper of all time. Cause I got a long way to go. All right. I rap so today. I'm like, God damn, I'm so far, bruh. His shit was amazing. So anyways, all right, boom. My intention behind, I should be looking at the camera. My bad. I keep looking over here because this is where the screen is at. So let me go ahead and look at y'all real quick. And for the viewers that are listening, or the listeners that are listening, my apologies if I'm doing anything visually. So, all right. One, I've been wanting to do a podcast really with the homies. But due to scheduling and all type of shit, because all of my homies are grown ass men now. It's crazy. I'm 35. I know I don't look 35. I know I look very young, and I know I'm handsome. And so don't let my appearance fool you. I'm a grown ass man. Big ass kid at heart, but a grown ass man. So because all of my day ones are I don't want to say caught up with life, but it's they got to do what they got to do, right? As well as myself. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just start the podcast, and I want to be able to create the platform to be able to talk to my homies on a public space and be able to share our talks and ideas, right? This way they ain't got no burden and they can just participate when they want to. And if they really fuck with the shit, then shit, hopefully this turn into something, right? And so boom, right? That was the initial concept, because we had a whole idea called Brothers in Tune. We released one podcast probably like 2-3 years ago. It was whenever Spider-Man No Way Home. Way longer than that. It's whenever Spider-Man No Way Home dropped, and we just talked about it because it would be cool to be able to talk about like the shit that we love and from our perspective, because you know what I'm saying, we from down south Miami. We're all from the Caribbean too for the most part, and so like we have a different POV, and even culturally it's a little different, because I feel like when you think of Miami in the forefront of like shit, you get a certain perspective, but down south don't really get no goddamn shine, you know what I'm saying? Outside of people like like Mike Smith, and it's echoed, but there's no light. So anyways, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm finna make this podcast and see where this takes. Now my fear on doing this shit, right? Because one, I'm a talker, bro. I love to speak, especially being here in Puerto Rico now, which is where I'm located at. It's I'm not around my loved ones or my close ones, or even like culturally, even though I am Puerto Rican, but I was born and raised in Miami-Dade, so you know what I'm saying, just even the way I communicate on a regular basis is different, because you know what I'm saying, I gotta speak Spanish more, or whatever the case may be. So this, I'm like, oh, this is lit, because this gives me the space to be able to talk my talk and express my ideas the way I do it, like naturally. You get what I'm saying? Cause so boom, right? So which I'm gonna get to another point on why I think this is important for me to do. But let me address the fear first, right? The fear is, damn, I start doing a podcast, I'm gonna like doing this, and then I don't want this to deter me or like push me away from my ultimate dream, which is to become a successful rapper, which I don't even know what that looks like at this point, because of like the internet, social media, different things, everyone has their own pockets or own universes that they can pretty much manifest or create. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Because at one point, I was younger. I'm like, oh, I want to be the best rapper to ever come out of Miami. I'm gonna be the Kendrick Lamar of Miami. I've written that shit to people on Instagram. It's crazy, bruh. Just being a a big ass kid at heart. I want to be what this is. But anyways, so I'm like, man, I don't want this to kind of deter me, because I'm already, because I'm a grown ass man and I live a real life and I work a 9 to 5, which is really more like a fucking 5 to 5 or a 9 to 9. A lot of my time is consumed because I have to do this now because of the decisions that I made in my late teens and early 20s. I hold financial stability because you ain't never have shit, then you get some shit, then you fuck it up. So it's like, damn, I've had a job since I was like 16 years old, so I could buy the bullshit that I want. I need a sidekick, I want these dunks, I need the famous t-shirts, I need the belt buckle like Jim Jones. I've been check to check since I was 16 years old, which is crazy, it's horrible, but I have no shame on sharing that because, one, I want people to learn from my mistakes, especially anyone that's younger or anybody that is walking a similar journey that I'm on. See the mistakes that I made in real time. You get what I'm saying? And so I think it's important to share my story and to share my experiences and so yeah, the fear is like, damn, I don't want this to push away from the rapping. But on the flip side, right, I understand my limitations and what I can do currently in the circumstances that I've ultimately created for myself, right? I can't put the blame on nobody. Oh, it's your fault that I'm here, or you should have told me, or this person should have looked out, or nah, me, right? It's accountability. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure I've hold opportunities and all type of shit because I probably went about it the wrong way or thought or overthought the situation or whatever the case may be versus handling it a different way. But can't do that. We're not young no more. Accountability is a motherfucker. So I just want to display my accountability and all the bullshit that have led me up to this point, and be able to share with y'all all this shit, right? So anyways, going into the point that I actually initially wanted to make, as an artist, as a creator, as someone chasing a dream, well, I say it like this, right? There's an idea of what I had, of what it would be to be on, like, oh yeah, it, like as an artist or whatever, right? You in your teenage years, like, oh, I'm gonna, well, at least from my perspective, right? Because when I was in my teens, all of my favorite rappers were rapping. Like, the goal was to be the best rapper, right? So when I was inspired to make music for the first time or take it serious, that was the most important thing to me. I gotta be the best rapper, right? So, and everything else, and in my head, oh yeah, as long as I'm super great, someone will discover me and everything will magically happen, which is not the truth. Right? Fast forward till now, with things like social media, like Instagram, TikTok, all these different platforms, you have to utilize this tool to be able to show your art, right? Which I'm conflicted, because I want people to hear me, but they have to see me first in order for them to hear me, right? So I'm like, what's a way that I can do this without feeling like I'm just dancing in the camera, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to dance for white folks. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? And visually, there's ideas that I have that are very creative that I would like to execute, but due to circumstances, I have to kind of do I got to do what's within my means. I'm not trying to overcompensate, because from the times that I did, it didn't lead anywhere because I tried to overexert myself and compromise my livelihood. So, that's what even ended me up to record myself and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, now, I was like, you know what? Maybe the podcast would be the right thing to do. I mean, I've already been live streaming and talking to you guys for a hot little minute, just randomly. My game here, this and the third, which low key, let me show you. This is only for the visuals, cause y'all ain't gonna be able to see this on the audio version. But look what I was just playing. Ain't this fire, bro? Ain't this, bruh? Ain't this fire? Wait, my bad. That was a YouTube. For the audio listeners, this is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Anyways, I didn't, I had to sidetrack on some nerd shit. Um, yeah. So, I'm like, all right, cool. I need to show off my personality and who I am because I know from the outside. I mean, obviously, if you from like down south for like the community I was raised in, you know who I am. I probably bagged your mama groceries. I done, made sure your homie ain't get fired because he called out 3 days in a row. But I had pool because I'm the youngest supervisor at Lorica. All that type of shit, right? But the world doesn't know who I am, and you know what I mean. And I don't know, and it's interesting to me because I don't know what I look like to someone who has never experienced me before, right? Because visually, if you see me, he got tattoos. I'm saying he's Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? You can't even see, like, is he black? Is he white? All this type of shit, right? And when I talk, it's like, where? I mean, but this is who I am. I mean, there's no fucking sprinkles on top of this shit. No real over exaggeration. And I thought this would be interesting to like really show who I am, express my thoughts and ideas about different things, so people could understand like my morals and what I stand on and what because I got younger people that look up to me, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about no rap shit or nothing. I'm just talking about people in my real life, like little bros and younger folks that that I inspire them in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Or inspire them when not to be. Bro, don't be hoeing like I did. Don't be skipping class every day in college because now you smoking and going chilling at the wall with the homies, and now you leaving school to go drink and then go play basketball at the park and all type of fucking stupid shit that I was doing just because of the environment. Dang, because we was having fun. So I think it's important for me to be able to share my thoughts and ideas so they can hear it. You know what I mean? And not only that, I'm also very confident because again, I can't wait to have my homies be able to participate in, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing. I can't wait to hear these fools and their personality. But as a 35-year-old man, even though there's a lot of things I probably would have done differently, I'm grateful for everything that's led up to this point. And I think not to sound like no cocky shit or nothing like that, but I think I've curated a great life for myself when it comes to like I'm super wealthy when it comes to relationships and friendships. You get what I'm saying? I might not be balling like that. You feel me? I ain't flying out girls to Puerto Rico and we finna chill. Nah, I ain't doing nothing. I can't even do none of that now. I'm chasing the dream. But friends and family and loved ones wise, I feel like I'm wealthy as fuck. Cause it's for me, I've known my same friends since I was 12, 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm 35 now. And obviously people have joined and came across the way, and I appreciate that as as adults, that we didn't bullshit and or kind of let our environment dictate the way that things could or outcomes it could have been. So I'm like, man, we young adults, you know what I'm saying? All of us are doing something, and we got the, you know what I'm saying? I think morally and principle wise we stand on something and we still cool, like, no, to be honest, like just like as we carry some adults, like in real life I don't give a fuck how the internet shit look like, and don't let this shit fool you, but in real life I'm my relationships and the homies, all shit is so rich because I feel like we good motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, we been on some bullshit when we was kids, but it wasn't even real bullshit. We're going to Best Buy to steal video games just because we couldn't afford Need for Speed Underground 2. Then the homies get caught next day because they went to be greedy, and now these motherfuckers banned from Best Buy, which was hilarious. That's a whole I can't wait to like share these stories, which is gonna be so fucking fire. It's gonna be so motherfucking fire. Hold on, my bad. I can't tell if they've been connected. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure. Cause this is episode 0. I gotta get all the kinks and stuff out the way.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, hold on. I just gotta see if this works. That boy's first comment is on himself. Does it appear? I only see if it appears on the screen. See, I can't tell. See, I don't know how to work. See, I gotta figure this out. Um. Oh, it do. Oh, how fire. See, but now what I gotta figure out is how to make this. See, look, now that I have an understanding of how this works, now I could be a little more. Oh, bet. There we go. All right, cool. I just need to figure that out. Bet. All right, we back. Um, yeah, man. So, that's definitely. I just wanted to share why I was, deciding to start a podcast, what my intentions is, and also express a little the fear behind it or whatever. Now what I'm not gonna do, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. Y'all not from the. I'm a rapper. I love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I am hip hop. It's tatted on me. I live and breathe this shit. But what I'm not gonna be doing, unless it's for some reason relevant, especially if I have like a guest on or some shit like that, or home having a conversation. I'm not gonna be talking about current events on some rap shit. Something I'm not gonna do. All right, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no album reviews or nothing like that. Why? Because I'll enjoy shit with y'all and talk about certain things that I love, but I'm not gonna be talking about no bullshit. I ain't talking about no rap drama. I ain't talking about what celebrities and shit about relationships and what. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Know what I mean? Now some cool shit with my favorite rapper and they got something, or one of my favorite rappers, and they got some type of purpose and meaning, and I think it's something to acknowledge for growth. Yes, that's amazing. I'm gonna make sure that goddamn I acknowledge that. But as far as like the bullshit, this ain't the place for that. I want to be funny, entertain, talk about some real shit, some grown shit, and and be able to educate in some capacity as well. Something like, one of the podcasts that I really fuck with too is the Jay Shetty podcast, because I was ill. Like, he'll have his solo episodes where he's talking about specific subject matter, whatever, whether it's love or spirituality or some specific things, and then he got episodes where there's guests and they have conversations and whatnot. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to the point where I get guests, because I don't even know what type of question I've never even thought about this, because this is a whole niche, low-key media section and stuff like that. So I'm not even trying to do it. I just want to be able to shed my opinion on certain stuff and my point of view, and hopefully y'all get to know me and have y'all interested into the music that I create. Because really, the cool part about even having this platform to be able to talk and speak and be able to communicate with an audience is to share my stories, right? Because I'm not nowhere near Kendrick Lamar yet, so there's I haven't gotten to the point. Like, there's stories and things I've experienced in my life that I haven't been able to pen out into art yet, which I can't wait to tap into. But there are elements of my story that I have already, right? So me being able to share these stories and context for things I've experienced. Me being able to share these stories will give context to certain songs I have, things of that nature, right? Which goes into that boy following the cute thing perfect. I was like, all right, I gotta make sure I'll make sure I go through the things I want to talk about, and that was a good transition going into what I'm currently working on, which is my album WVR, The Stoic Man. Now, if you know, I've been calling this bit The Stoic Man for the longest. It's actually saved on my computer as that, but that was the full I realized version. Anyways, I'm kind of skipping ahead. So WVR stands for Worker versus Rapper, right? My idea initially was to, cause I worked on it at the end of last year. It was originally titled The Manuscript, which is like the idea of my debut album, but that's a whole different conversation. But what ended up happening was that evolved into WVR. I think I did a freestyle, and I was like, it'd be a cool skit just to, I was thinking about like Tip versus T.I., where you had Tip and you had T.I., and I'm like, man, the worker and the rapper, which is what I'm constantly battling in my real life, where I'm Peter Parker throughout the day, and I'm forced to be Peter Parker throughout the day, but I'm trying to be Spider-Man. all fucking day. Well, as I'm Peter Parker, I'm thinking about how I'm gonna be web swinging and going through these goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Which that's just a metaphor. I'm not trying to be Spider-Man. But so anyways, I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. So then I'm like, you know what? Let me take these elements that I was originally going to use from the manuscript and kind of, change it up and make this project, because it felt very relevant, right? Like this project, really, WVR is my life in 2025. Things are exaggerated, obviously, for to protect people in my real life, and not from no crazy shit. It's not like I'm rapping some gangster stuff or nothing like that, but more so like, I'm talking about relationships or intimacy, or I'm single, I don't have a girlfriend, but in the story I have a girlfriend, right? So I'm pulling elements from my real life and stretching it out a bit to where I'm still in my truth, but I'm also telling a story which is based on true events, if that makes sense. And, make it as close to reality as possible, but also it's art, bruh. You know what I'm saying? The man who fucking made the Terminator didn't experience the Terminator, but he made the Terminator. So if you get what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lean more into my artistry, into my creative bag. But I feel like WVR, this project, was perfect for me to be able to, express myself of what I'm experiencing in real time, but also find like a cool artistic way to do it. So WVR is broken down into 3 acts. You have Act 1, which is the first 4 tracks, which is The Worker, right? Dogma, The Worker, which is track 2, Mo Money, and Cash Advance. Funny enough, Mo Money was originally called Payday, because really, Mo Money and Cash Advance is Mo Money Part 2. Both of those songs have to exist. Gonna give you the happy side of pay. Yeah, I'm getting paid, I'm splurging on my bitch, I'm getting fly, blah blah, and then Cash Advance. Fuck, I just splurged on my bitch and I did it. What, you know what I'm saying? So boom, that's Act 1, right? The Worker. Act 2 is The Rapper, right? Which starts off with Lockhart, right? Which is the woman in my life breathing life back into me, breathing life back into my purpose. And not necessarily in her words about my dream, but in action, right? And then, when y'all hear the skits and stuff like that, which, oh my God, I can't wait to share. Oh my God, I can't wait to share, which I can't wait to show. I would fucking, you know what? Before this podcast is done, I'll preview how it starts. Because this was just, it's episode 0, and episode 0 is very appropriate because we had 0. Because it's not like there's someone on the live right now, right? But this will be something that people will look back into later on. You get what I'm saying? So this is gonna be ill. I'm definitely gonna do that in the beginning because I'm so obsessed with how it's starting to sound, and I'm like, bruh. Because all right, let me continue back with the WVR breakdown, right? All right, so Act 2 is The Rapper, and track 6 is called No Stress, right? So that's like, life got breathed. My woman blew breath back into my lungs, and the ego took over, and I'm in self-realization, like, man, I ain't even stressing. Life is good, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just popping my shit. And then sonically, No Stress is like, made it like it's a slap. You know what I mean, I ain't trying to rap, but I ain't trying to just say nothing. It's a song, bruh, song. Now I haven't released. Well, if you listen to the unmastered version, which is what I released on January 1st, which has the first 8 songs, you've heard the last 2 songs. I won't say it because y'all should go look at this motherfucker. Go click on WVR Unmastered. You can hear the first 80% of the tape, and it's raw version. And so anyways, right? So the next 4 tracks are from the perspective of Act 2 is The Rapper, right? Now, Act 3, or the closing chapter, or closing act, is The Stoic Man. And it's only 3 songs, which, yeah, I'm sorry. The wait for 3 songs is crazy, but hey, I love these 3 songs. and it's the complete version. Y'all get a little extra stuff throughout the tape, and if you heard it before and you hear it now, you'll be able to distinguish. Anyways, the third act is the combination of my two personas, right? Like we didn't hit the fusion dance. And you'll see what I did to it as well, because there's a thematically, if you hear it, you'll see the progression. You have the first 4 tracks they all sound different, but sonically it progresses, right? And then it drops, because when you get to Cash Advance, the tone gets down intentionally, right? But you have like the dream sequence, you have a real dreamy, like, soulful beat, and then it goes into, a little more gritty New York type sounding beat, and then Mo Money is, has like a West Coast flavor, but I use like Florida instruments to make the beat. And then you have Cash Advance, which, I mean, when I was making it, it made me think of like something I would hear Cole on, right? So you kind of have these real hip hop-ish sound things, right? Or sounds that are different, but connect in sonically, right? From 1 to 4, and which is dope, because even the way I went about this, which I'll get into in a little bit, which will make sense on why it transitioned that way. But anyways, so the Stoke Man is the understanding of that. So without all that being said, there's a story in the music, and once the full tape is released on May 17th, which is my birthday, right? I always drop on my birthday or January 1st. You'll hear the whole story, right, in its context of what I created. And just for like, I don't even know who's looking at this like, I'm excited, I can't wait to hear the whole thing, but just for like a hint or a preview or whatever, think of the movie Rocky, right? Rocky's one of the greatest films ever. Sylvester Stallone, somebody that's considered washed or whatever, older, gets an opportunity to fight for the championship, right? And he gets all the way to the point where he gets to fight Apollo Creed at the end of the match. But what happens at the end of the movie? He loses. But he still wins. So that's the kind of thematically what this is. Because in my head, when I transition to the next tape or the sequel to this, and God willing, I'm just regardless, progression is consistently, but let's just say I get a little more notoriety, I'm a little more known, or people acknowledge like, oh, he's actually pretty good, whatever the case may be, where I'm on, for lack of a better word, or whatever the fuck that means, then I'm gonna be able to, I have a story that I want to go for the next project, which I think will be fire, but we'll get to that. So what I want to share as well is what the way that I went about this, right? The way I went about writing this, because it was, again, the initial idea was the manuscript. And so me and one of my close homies had a long conversation about music, and he was just expressing to me like, yo, bro, just like talking about music that we used to love when we was younger, and how we had a connection to it, and which is interesting because I remember at one point in time we were having conversations about, bruh, quality is going to be so important moving forward. Like, this is like 10 years ago. We were talking about 2015, 2016. Me and the homie, as we're creating, we're talking about like, yo, we got to make sure the quality is good. That's going to be such an important factor, blah, blah, blah. Now, because of AI, it almost feels like it's the reverse, where the stuff that sounds raw and organic might hit a little different because everything sounds so clean now and so polished. It's kind of like, even like with the AI anime shit, right? You could get a generated AI image of an anime character and it could look pretty fire, and a lot of the images are fire, but it's not gonna beat someone's hand drawing, right? And the reason it's not gonna be someone's hand drawing because there's things that you can't account for. So you might had an idea of drawing something and you went over a line too bit, but this inspired an idea, and now you created some other shit because of that. It's those things, right? So anyways, we're having a conversation about that, and we was talking about Wayne, And something that I didn't even realize, we used to love Lil Wayne so much that there be songs or verses that the quality was just trash, to be honest, but the raps were so fucking good that it superseded the quality of the audio. You wanted to repeat what he had to say. You wanted to take a line from Lil Wayne and use it as a caption on your MySpace. Because back in the day, your MySpace profile, instead of having like your name on top, you'd have like a sentence or a word. And I remember at one point in time in high school, everyone's caption was a fucking Lil Wayne line. Because shit, I was in high school when the Drought 3 dropped, bro. Imagine driving in my 95 Adventure, listening to I Got My Beat Down Low and My Top back. Oh, but God. Well, that was the T.I. version. Rhyme with a bad hoe, with a girlfriend in the back. I like to get real high, and I never look back. Man, you don't want to try, man. Don't look strap. I come from the hottest city. Ain't nobody fucking with it. Got a red and glow stove, and a fresh new on the fitter than the Calipolo, and a pair of ballad bucks. Young money, motherfucker. We heard about us. It's a shame. I probably know more Lil Wayne verses than I do my own verses. Anyways, man. Damn, I'm having fun and I lost track of what the hell I was talking about. But anyways, yeah, me and my dog talking about this or whatever. So I was like, man, you know what I want to do? I want to rap over my favorite beats and like translate that to, you know, because I wrote to every song on WVR is written to a beat that I love or a song that I really love or something, you know what I'm saying? And so, for instance, just to give y'all another jewel and insight to the tape, right? The song Dogma, the intro, I love the song Dogma in the intro. Obviously, in context of the story, that's the dream sequence. Everything that I'm talking about is I'm living the dream. And it's very vague, too. Like, yeah, there's some shit that I'm talking about that might be deep or whatever, just to give you my insight on, like, who I am as a person. But talking about everything is polo. I want band bread ones, you know, I want 5 gold chains like Nipsey Hussle. All those things are vague, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. But the song that I wrote that to, because initially I was thinking like, and I probably will get this off on the next tape, but when I think of the intro, I always think of the movie Star Wars, right? When I'm making an album, I always think of Star Wars when I come to making the intro, because you know when in specifically Star Wars episode, here go my nerd talk. I'm sorry, bruh. I'm a nerd, okay? I can't help it. I'm a fucking nerd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the nerd, the hip hop junkie, the Miami, the Afro Latino. Yes, me. That's who I am. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I wrote that intro to the song Family Ties by Baby King featuring Kendrick Lamar. And if you hear Family Ties and you hear Dogma, they don't sound nothing alike, right? The only thing it shares is a BPM. Even the way that I'm rapping on it, I would not rapping how like King rap on, you know what I'm saying? I'm rapping like how I rapped it. So which is interesting because I swear I have a verse to Family Ties. And I remember I was trying to get Nick on the part where it switches and then Kendrick Lamar starts rapping. I was like, yo, because Nick, that's one of my bros, and I think he's one of the greatest rappers I've ever heard in my life, in real life. Probably the greatest, in the physical form. Right? I haven't met Kendrick or Wayne yet or Ab, so I don't. Man, that shit gonna be scary one day. Not scary, because you know I'm gonna be prepared. But I can't imagine being in the studio and be like, all right, this the beat we gonna rap on, and everyone in their little corners writing on their phone or however they writing process is, bro. And just the pressure, like, bro, I gotta show out. These goats in here. I can't be just looking like this some regular shit. Can't wait for that. But anyways, right? I haven't met none of these motherfuckers yet. But my bro, this man is nasty, bro. And with that being said, I remember I wanted to be, so I had something initially. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me rap. I have the idea, which I'm gonna get to in a second because this process I'm kind of skipped, but I had the idea, wrote it to Family Ties, and then after I wrote it to Family Ties, that's when I go into the beat making process, right? So the only thing right now at this point I have is BPM, and at this point I probably have like the first verse committed to memory. So I'm rapping the verse in my head as I'm playing with like how I'm gonna make the beat. And then I just ended up coming into making fucking the beat for Dogma. And no, I'm not a super producer yet. I wish I'm not even a tenth of like my favorite producers when it comes to production. I think my shit is fire. I think it sounds good, but it only sounds good and it's fire because I'm making it for me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason that shit sound gas, because I'm making it for me and I'm making it with intention. Like anytime I start making a beat or start fucking laying my pen to a paper, unless it's a freestyle. If it's a freestyle, I'm going in fresh with no, I don't even want to think about what I'm gonna rap unless the line came to my head when I first heard the beat that I want to say, like rap to, right? Because once I have that first line, I could just go, like I trust that I'll be able to fucking I trust that I'll be able to whatchamacallit, just, you know, write what I like. But that first couple lines are always so important. So yeah, my bad. I kind of derailed again. But again, this is episode 0, so this is for me to get all the extra shit out the way. But yeah, so it was written. Dogma was written to Family Ties. So going, and I want to take a little step back. So when I had the idea for the tape and kind of laid out, okay, this is gonna be, first half is the worker, the next half is the rapper, then it's the combination together, which would be the Stoic Man. Because initially I was gonna call, instead of calling WVR, I was gonna call it the Stoic Man. But I'm like, and I'm like, I love how WVR sound, but it also sounds plain and stuff. Anyways, that's just side content. A little tab open real quick. So, once I lay the ideas down, okay, this is what I want to do. All right, what's track 1 about? All right, this is the intro. All right, track 2, what's this going to be about? Okay, it's going to be this. It's going to be from the perspective of the worker, like me working. Okay, track 3. I said track 3. Track 3. What's track 3 about? Okay, payday. What? The experience of payday. Oh, okay, cash advance, so on and so forth. Like I had the idea for the song, and what I wanted to talk about before I penned any verse. So then it's like, all right, cool. So what are some of my favorite songs that I love that I could wrap this idea over so I can get the idea out, right? So that's why I thought, oh shit, Family Ties. Going back to what I was saying with Family Ties sounds like a champion type, even this, and the Dogma sounds, I guess, more soulful. But it has like this champion, like, you know what I'm saying, winning type energy. So I was like, all right, cool, this is how we gonna start the album off, right? Then I wrote to that and so on and so forth. I'll reveal. I think I'm gonna do something with one of the homies where we're talking about the tape, and I'll go more into like the breakdown of what specific songs that I rapped over, especially when it's done. But yeah, so I did that for each one of the songs, right? So now I laid the ideas out, then I wrote the song. I wrote at least 2 to 3 verses for every song, and I wrote it to beats that I love or I love, and I felt like would thematically sounding thematically that I'll be able to like make a beat similar to that or within the same cloth, or just to express the idea, because some of the songs only, like Dogma and Family Ties, have sound nothing alike, but it helped me write and get the idea off, which is tying back into the conversation what else happened with my dog, because that's why even now too, you catch me every week I'm dropping a freestyle, or some weeks I might not drop a freestyle slip. I wish I could be very consistent. No, I'm being as consistent as I can. I think I'm on like 25 freestyles for the year. And it's April, so I don't know if that's a lot or a little bit. And I'm gonna just try to keep it going as time progresses and stuff. So boom, after I wrote all the lyrics out for every song before I ain't even make a beat yet. And some things were subject to change. I wanted to give it room to breathe, so like even the worker, I wrote the first 2 verses first, and then when I made the beat and I'm recording the song, that's when I was like, oh, you know what, I need to make this 3rd verse. And I did it there on the spot. So boom, so I went ahead and wrote everything down, and mind you, this is what I wanted to share as well. Every time I go into a project, I approach the creative process a little differently, right? Based on either techniques that I'm learning or just trying to experiment, right? So just to give you a little backstory, when I released Free Jewels, which is my first like official tape, the way I approached it, I wrote every song from beginning to end. Meaning, and I know I'm saying this shit ugly as fuck. Meaning, I wrote track 1, recorded track 1. I wrote track 2, recorded track 2. I wrote track 3, recorded track 3. So in order, right? And it was kind of like some spiritual shit that I was thinking about, because if you look at Free Jewels, there's 7 songs, like 7 songs, really, and then the 8th song is my dog song, which I thought was cool. Like, oh, the last song gonna be Nick's song, because Nick gonna drop his project after the fact, or whatever. Us just being creative and trying to be cool and shit. So I did the same thing with this project, right? But differently. So I started with the ideas first, then I wrote each song, but I wrote it back to back. So I wrote the intro, then I wrote the second song, then I wrote the third song, then I wrote the fourth song, so on and so forth. So each song can have that connective tissue, right? And in every one of my albums, you could look at this shit like a Hideo Kojima game. I'm making the same album but different, or same album but relevant to the time, right? I'm gonna have a song that you start a 5-paragraph essay. The first paragraph is pretty much a summary of what everything you about to get into. You know what I'm saying? Then you gotta have a song thematically on what the tape is about. Then you gotta have the love song. You got, there's I throughout my journey and making music and trying to be the best version of myself, I also took the time out to like study not only my favorite albums, but albums that are considered classics that I might not have necessarily paid attention to, because it might not have been my taste at the time, or going back to stuff that I might have overlooked because for whatever the reasons is, right? Because like even me and the homies, we all share taste in hip-hop music, but we all got different favorite rappers. It's kind of like, you growing up, you got homies, we all got different basketball teams. My favorite basketball team has always been the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Kobe has always been my favorite, even when they was down and you know what I'm saying, I gotta defend. Nah, bro, Kobe's the greatest basketball player ever. R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant. Yeah, so it's the same thing with hip hop. But I have obviously I was a Wayne head, bro. Like Wayne has always been my fucking favorite rapper. I mean, not always, obviously. Like even at one point it was like The Game, and then who was my it's probably for the most part Wayne. T.I. At one point, T.I. was my favorite rapper, and then Luke. But Wayne has always been consistently, since I was probably 16 years old, my favorite rapper. Anyways, but there's albums that I didn't even get to a chance or give it a chance to, because I'm listening to what I'm listening to, and also I always listen to old school music. Like I love 90s hip hop. Like when I first started rapping, I was like, oh, classic album, I gotta do all these boom bap beats, and my shit gotta sound like Reasonable Doubt, and you know what I'm saying? Like these are the thoughts and ideas that I have. And then obviously over time and me learning and understanding, like, oh no, you get what I'm saying, and giving chance to music that I didn't give a chance to later. Like, man, because even it's funny, right? Obviously everybody know this, right? And I know I'm kind of deviating from our original conversation, but I'll double back. But everybody knows my GOAT is Dot. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. I have a lot of other favorite rappers, even probably rappers I might even listen to a little more, and not to say, but I'm just to be 100% being honest, but I think Kendrick is the GOAT. There's however Kobe Bryant looked at Michael Jordan, right, is the way I look at Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, that's just what it is. I can't, you know what I'm saying? And this, whatever. I'm in Miami, motherfuckers be arguing. Well, I ain't in Miami, I'm in Puerto Rico, but like I'm from Miami, obviously. Like I ain't even gonna talk about the Drake stuff or whatever. That's neither here nor there. But Kendrick is my GOAT, right? But I remember, I don't know, the homie Cam, like Killer put us on to Kendrick first. And then I think around the same time, that's when I seen like the Double XL freestyle, and I thought it was dope because like at least for me, right? I love the West Coast. I'm a big West Coast fan, so like I remember specifically like the Double XL freestyle, or like how they not the one where it's all together, but I think it's like the separate clips, and I think Dot had like a crew sweater on, and it had Compton on it, and my bias is like, oh, that's so fucking raw. It's like a conscious rapper, right? And But at the same time, that's when I guess around that time I'm like already playing with the ideas like, yo, this is what I want to do, but I'm scared. What the fuck? Because me and the homies was rapping in like our early teens, but it was for fun. We're making songs like Crank That Grandma. Oh my God, I don't care. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna find this motherfucker now. Oh my God, that's crazy. Cause I need y'all to understand. Oh man, bro, the homie's gonna cuss me out. Bros, I apologize, but this is way too funny not to play. Anyways, that's crazy. I wonder if I could Google it. If it pops up on Google, that's crazy. Um, let me see. Yo, that would be wow. That would be crazy. Hold on. It's crazy, bro. Not because you know it's funny. I still feel hella young and like I still feel super young and like I feel like I haven't experienced a lot. But then when I look back, I've experienced so much life, bro. And it's like you, um, whoa. Okay. There we go. Where this goddamn tape at? I need to download. I need to keep a copy of this for the homies try to delete it. It's crazy. Ah, bruh. Wow, bruh. Even the SoundCloud era was fucking crazy. And just to let y'all know as well, I'm actually gonna be dropping my first mixtape. Damn, I remember the homie was going crazy. All right, wait, you gotta let me play it. This my boy Nick. This I remember this.
Hold up. Talk about it. Talk about it. No. Hold up. Talk about it. Talk about it. No. Hell ain't no place with no fire, dog. How the fuck when we born finna dragging pussy, nigga? Hell is a place where your day one.
Yo, niggas be going crazy. We be just like, all right, let me ball this goddamn paper up, throw it back, start a new verse again. All right, so look, I found it, y'all. So look, I know that was deviated. I was just giving y'all backstory, insights on my tape or whatever, but I just want you to know and just show y'all we've been doing this for a long time. And this is so, I don't even know what year this is though, bro. I don't know if this is 07, 08, 09, or a combination of all three of those years. But this is the SP. This is actually very appropriate because I was trying to get the homies on. Hold on, before I play this. I was trying to get the homies on today, and every motherfuckers is working and doing whatever they're doing. But I was like, man, I would love to intro with y'all, but this is my perfect way of doing this shit, bruh. This is mad funny, bruh. They gonna be mad, bruh. And I'm happy I'm not I could actually, alright, hold on, my bad, let me have y'all sorry for the audio listeners, y'all just hearing me talk and y'all hear the song in a minute, but this is for the people that are tapped in visually. Is it this? Hold on. Let's see what we looking at though, man. Hold on. Oh, don't be tweaking now, bruh. Now my computer wants to start tweaking? Alright. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me check something real quick. See, now this shit wants alright. No. My bad, I'm scared. This shit. Nah, don't start holding now. Alright. Alright, let me make sure. Oh, nah, now the stream at them crazy. Hold on. Make sure the bit turned off. Alright, cool. No, we good. Yeah, fix this. Oh, that's why. All them goddamn windows open. There we go. Yes, leave, bro. I guess on the audio version of this, I'm gonna have like a. All right, there we go. Yeah, that shit was taking way too much goddamn space. See, now we clean again. All right, so I'm about to play y'all this shit. Oh my god, this is mad funny. Hold up.
Hey, babe. I can't reach you on your cell phone right now. So, I'm gonna mess for you. Baby girl, I really love you. I just wanna hug you. I just want to be on your top 8. Baby girl, you should let me.
I want to, you feel me? I don't know how much I can play and get away with without getting in trouble. Cause I got to put this on the stream platform. Let me see how far. Bruh, stop telling me to. No, I'm not logging in. It won't.
Add you, let me.
That's insane. Alright. I ain't gonna log in now. But that's hilarious. Oh, bruh, that's hilarious, bruh. Yeah, SoundCloud era. This shit different. This tape will be released on my YouTube. I never pull it out. These were all the horrible sounding quality songs when I thought I was rapping. I remember this shit. I got the keys. All right, anyways, my bad. Deviated. I just wanted to share with y'all that we've been doing this for a hot little minute, and so it's crazy. Like, I can't, again, going into even the theme of like the podcast, I want to be able to share our stories and all this type of shit. So, bruh, so fucking hilarious. But damn, that's so funny. Now that I'm doing like this pod shit, I gotta start clipping, huh? Well, whatever. We'll figure this shit out as it goes. But I think this is kind of fun, and I get to again share with y'all me. But anyways, going back to what I was talking about, because I know I was talking about the tape and shit like that. So yes, this tape was created. I wrote all the lyrics. I had the ideas first. I wrote all the lyrics from beginning to end. Then I made the beats from beginning to end. So I made the first beat first, and the second beat second, and the third beat third, so on and so forth. So that's why the album has the connective tissue that it has, because I did it intentionally like that. The only thing that I left up to randomness was the outro, which I have the outro done, but I left it because I still kind of didn't know how I wanted to go about it. I was like, am I gonna do some like cold shit like when he did at the end of 2014 Fort Hills and like give a bunch of shout outs or whatever? What does my version of a perfect outro look like? So I think I came up with something that was pretty dope. That's crazy. I'm talking so much. This shit was hot, and I've been cold in the motherfucker. Anyways, yeah, bruh. So I'm excited for y'all to listen to the album. I'm really excited. I think as a full body, even if you heard all the songs before, I think with its context and it even having its first full body of work, I think it gives it the it adds that extra layer, bro. It's like the seasoning, bro. The steak could be good as fuck, but if the shit not seasoned, it's gonna be bland. So I feel like I showed y'all the steak. Hey, this is a good steak, but wait till I put some seasoning on this bitch. And I'm kind of, even the rollout for this shit is weird. And I kind of wish, like, I think if I was like on, or like if I had some type of little popularity or notoriety, is that the fucking word? Anyways, if I had some of that, then I think it would actually be kind of interesting the way I'm going about it. Most people, they'll drop a single, wait 2 weeks, wait a month, and drop the next single, so on and so forth. I'm releasing the album that way. I'm releasing track 1, promote this bitch for a week or 2, then release track 2, promote this bitch for a week or 2, promote track 3, so on and so forth. And then when May 17th comes, I'll have all 8 tracks that I originally released on that one unmastered version, and on top of that, then I'll also have the full realized version, right? And then you get the 3 songs at the end. Now, if I was like super on, maybe it would be a little different. I'd release the first 5 songs, and then the next 10. Oh, I don't know. But I just thought it was a cool idea and just some dope shit because I feel like it adds to the lore of Amaury Love and shit. So yeah, this is dope. I can't wait for you guys to experience it. To anyone that's been tapped in, supporting or listening, or even I appreciate you guys because I love this. It's always been my dream, bruh. Even when I didn't tell nobody, and then when I decided to go about it, I so much I wanted. I remember at one point in time, I thought it was just as easy as, I'm gonna buy a Apple mic and connect it to my iPhone, and I'm gonna record off my iPhone and make songs that way. And it's like, nah, bruh, you know, which is crazy. You would think that I know more about music in the music industry because my dad was in the music industry, but that's not the case. Because 1, my dad was in the salsa world. 2, it's you know what I mean? It's weird because it's not the same thing. And I also understand that, like, my old boy, he been making music since he was like 14. He's 74 now, right? Damn, he's been making music making music for over 50 years. It's crazy. And they still hit him up. But he's older now, and he, circumstances didn't allow, because he would think like, because in my head before I was like, my dad, you work for Gloria. This is my internal thoughts, not me saying this to him or to anybody, but just like, man, my dad was working for Gloria Stefan, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, how are we in the circumstance we in? Like, almost like blaming, but it's like, nah, bro. Like, then when I'm starting to do shit in the music business and on the lowest possible level, because I'm not trying to sit here and act like, oh yeah, I'm going to these events and I'm networking, I met some cool people along the way, and experience some dope shit, but I'm still at the lowest possible tier, and my goal is to rise up and hopefully be somebody that's considered great. You know what I mean? But then when I start seeing how like the business works and how, I'm just thinking like on some like pure hip hop purist stuff, like, if you nice and you're making dope songs, everything's just gonna line up. People are gonna, you know what I mean? No, it's not the case, bro. It's not the case. And I used to think that was the case. And then when I came into the set, like, all right, my first performance was probably at like 2016, right? It had to be, because it was right after I dropped a mixtape called The Love Tape. I mean, not The Love Tape, The Love Story, which is, I'm gonna release it on my birthday on YouTube. Actually, I've seen it on the SoundCloud as I was scrolling through it. So my first performance, there's is this girl I went to high school with. Her name is Mocha Kelly. Super bad. And I'm not trying to make that in a disrespectful way. Like, she was one of the finest girls in South Ridge. And I don't know, she had like an event or something going on, because she had this brand, and I know I might be butchering this, so I apologize if I'm butchering it, but I think it was like Guns N' Roses or something to that effect, because she's like always been in like fashion thing. Anyways, it's just, I don't know her personally or whatever, but we know of each other obviously because we in the same school, whatever, social media type shit. So I see she had an event going on, and I don't recall, I'm sure I probably reached out to her about it or whatever, and that was my first performance. And I remember it was some random like lounge thing next to Sunset Mall. And it's funny, right? This is cool. All right, story time, right? Talking about my first performance. It's dope. I guess this will be clipped. So it's funny, right? At the time, I was talking to this girl, right? So I set up the event. It's my off day, so I'm like, because at the time I was working at a call center, and there was this Puerto Rican girl which is funny because I probably know like 2 Puerto Rican people in Miami that are not family related. Now those two people Anyways, my bad. I don't even want to be too specific because I don't want the person to know who I'm talking, or people know who I'm talking about, just off of, due to privacy, I can't disclose what happened after that. She posted pictures sitting on my lap, and due to privacy, I can't disclose what happened after that. That's the line. Anyways, so and this girl so bad, and I was crushing. I was really trying to chill. I was for weeks trying to, hey, let's kick it, let's do something. Woo woo. So she finally gives me the chance or whatever, and so, but I miscalculated my time, right? Cause at first I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna chill with Shorty in the morning. We finna go eat, chill, kick it at the mall or whatever. I think we went to Dolphin or some shit. No, we went to Dayland Mall or some shit like that. And I was like, all right. So after I kick it with her, I'm finna drop her off, and I'm finna go pull up the Sunset and perform. Cause that's my first performance. I don't even want to invite nobody. I'm trying to practice. I'm nervous as hell. I've never rapped none of my songs out loud to anybody, besides people in the studio. So, whatever. So I'm just time mismanagement. I'm like, fuck, bruh. I'm not gonna have enough time to take her to her crib and then go perform. So she gonna have to come with me. For one, she even had no idea I'm performing. So I'm just like, hey, I ain't gonna hold. No, she knew, but I was trying to brush it off. Like, it's cool. I'm gonna take you, whatever. So time mismanagement. I'm like, all right, fuck. She gotta come with me. So now I gotta bring the girl that I've been crushing on, that she been, brushing me off for a minute, to come to my performance, right? That I've never performed for, and I'm nervous, bruh. So we get to the spot. It's like a lounge thing, and I see Shorty. She's like, "Oh my god," just telling me, "Okay, this is when you're performing, whatever." So I have a song called "Sound Slave." That was like my first song that I thought was like, this is me like rapping and whatever, and I thought it was cool. Now in retrospect, when I hear it, it's hella cringe, but I think the hook is dope because I flipped something Jay-Z said. And it's appropriate. I mean, I'm saying it's appropriate context. I love Jay-Z. But to these niggas that I ain't no slave. With my arms and feet shackled up, but still get paid. Oh my god, it's so hard. So that was my shit. That was like he rapping song or whatever. So boom. I remember giving the USB to the DJ, and then the song starts, and I am terrified. I'm like, I don't know how this shit gonna look. I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I love Jay-Z, so I had a dad, like a blue LA dad hat, and I had that bitch super down low, so you can't see my eyes, and I didn't want to see the audience, but I'm in front of the audience, but I'm like on some whole shit, like, nah, y'all can't see my eyes, but really it's because I'm scared. I don't want to make no eye contact. It's gonna break my whole concentration. So whatever, the verse started, I'm rapping, whatever, right? So then I'm like, nah, I can't be just not looking at the crowd. What the fuck? I need to see if anybody fuck with this shit. So like I look up, and the first thing I look up to go look at the shorty I was with. This girl all on her phone. Maybe she wasn't, but in my mind, that's how I remember it. This bitch on her phone, doing whatever. I was like, all right, whatever. She don't fuck with it. Guess I lost a point for the night. I ain't getting something tonight, but I'll tell you that. And then whatever, right? So I'm continuing going. And then I look up. Because she was, from the perspective, she was to my right? So then I look forward, and it's probably, it wasn't like swole, but it's probably like 20, 30 people there, right? So and then I look, and in the front, out of everybody that was there was one dude, and he was really rocking it, like he was bobbing his head hard, like he was really fucking with the shit, right? And that shit made me feel so. It gave me like a Zenkai boost at the moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like eating sensu bean after battle damage. I was like, oh shit, whatever. I finished the one song because I only really had one song to perform. And whatever. After that, whatever. Took Shorty home. Nothing happened. But I left knowing that damn, one person really rocked with what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? That shit felt good. That shit felt so good. It was a room full of people, and that one person was really fucking with it. And then even the shorty who threw the event, she had gave me like good energy after that too. Like, oh my god, that was great. Woo woo. Again, I'm butchering with sex. That was such a long time ago, but I just remember that. I remember how I felt, right? And I remember that was like the inception of like me starting to perform and shit like that, right? But after that, my performances would be sporadic because I wasn't in the know. I wasn't even in the underground scene for real. It's just like well, take that back. I was in the down south underground scene, right? However, there's a bunch of shit going on in Miami the further up that you go and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like I didn't know nothing about casting calls and fucking background. Like if I knew about this shit earlier, I would have been on that, but I didn't know about it till 2019, for real, 2018. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm completely oblivious because I'm just in my own little world and shit like that. But once I started, performing more and meeting and seeing, then it becomes like, all right, now we're performing, Like people that I know that I work with, because out of Lorica, which is a call center I used to work at, it was originally called PRC, then they changed the name to Lorica. Lorica, if you live down south, you worked at Lorica. Everyone has had you either went there, did the training for 4 weeks, and quit just so you can get that little check and go into your next little hustle, or you grinded in that bitch, got your money, and was hustling, doing whatever you was doing. I'm saying that shit was hella ghetto. I ain't even gonna hold you. That shit that bad. Our department, the Reconnect department, was bad as fuck, bro. I'll tell you that, bro. There was all type of shit going on back there. Things that I will talk about, things that I'll never talk about. And nothing crazy like motherfuckers dying, but there's definitely some shit going on, bro. That shit was hilarious. Crazy as fuck. But yeah, so like I met a lot of people that were making music there as well. You get what I'm saying? And then eventually, like, you know, like the spot called the Mystic Joint opened up across the street. That was kind of like a it wasn't it's like a lounge type shit, but they had open mic nights every whatever day, and you know it's cool because like the same people that I went to. It's interesting, bro, how life works. I had no idea what I wanted to do after high school. As a matter of fact, I remember me and my dog Carl was contemplating, man, maybe we should fucking fail and just do this shit one more time and figure it out, which is a crazy ass mindset to have. But I really didn't know what the fuck I want to do. My life at the end of high school was going to work, getting fresh, and chasing girls. I wasn't thinking about my dreams because I didn't have none at the moment. I wasn't thinking everything, like I was just living a hip hop ass life. Everything was hip hop, bro. To be honest, because I remember people be like, people thought I was a rapper before I started rapping. It's just the way I carry myself. You know what I'm saying? Especially the moment I started getting some money. Oh nah, you got me fucked up. I'm buying all the PacSun jeans. I'm buying all these famous t-shirts. I'm gonna get the buckle with the diamonds in that bitch. It was like $20. It's not like it was real diamonds, but it looked fire as fuck. Yeah, all type of dripped out, whatever. Anyways, I'm saying this to say that, in their down south community, when I ended up going to college, a lot of the people that I met in college, because you know, like where I'm from, you either went to 3 high schools. You went to South Ridge, our rival school Killian, or you went to Coral Reef, right? Those are the 3 schools that are relatively, and Palmetto, 4, my bad, and Palmetto. Those are the 4 schools that are relatively within the same area that people know of each other. You know what I'm saying? I go to South Ridge. People from South Ridge might be dating a girl at Killian and what. And then when you went, you know, we didn't get to see everyone until like the house parties and shit like that. Because Nick went to Coral Reef. One of my my first like real girlfriend, she was going to Killian at the time or whatever. So you know, down south is pretty much a integrated community. So I went to when you going to Miami-Dade community college, all these different people from different high schools was in the same space, right? So now people are like meeting each other for the first time, whatever. But anyways, coincidentally, everybody that I met in that era of my life transitioning into doing something music hip hop wise. If anything, going to Miami-Dade was the biggest blessing for me when it comes to like my hip hop story. It made me, oh, this is real, because you know, like I always wanted to be a rapper, but it was so far fetched. And then even in the back of my mind, like, well, my dad make music, but I'm seeing I don't make songs. There's no way I could connect. I know they don't got I don't even know if they know anything about no hip hop shit, so that's out the window. And even the people that were popular, or the artists that were popular when I was in my late teens, like I knew who my favorite rappers was. Wayne was my favorite rapper. T.I. was my favorite rapper. Ludacris was my favorite rapper. Like The Game. Like I have favorite artists in like the hip hop world from like a global scale, right? But locally, obviously, you know what I'm saying, you got Ross, you got you got Luke, Trick Daddy, Ross, and then like the hot rapper at the time when I was in high school was Iceberg. Iceberg is one of the fucking goats. If y'all know who Billionaire Berg is, y'all need to go Google him right now. This man is phenomenal. I met him like a couple times in real life. Cool at like a real one to the highest extent. And this was dope too. This how I know Iceberg was a real one, because I remember randomly we was at some party in Colonial, right? And we just posted this. I remember, and it's funny because I remember this is the first time I smoked a Black and Mild, and And I remember my ex and my homeboy coming, oh, so you smoke Black and Miles now? Some type of shit? Like, man, whatever, bro. Anyways, that same party, Iceberg is randomly at the fucking party in Colonial, bro. And I thought they was capping. And it was cool, because we all kids. Well, we 16, 17, 18 at the time. That's like the group of kids going to these parties and shit like that. And the fact that Berg was there just chilling with his homies or whatever, and nobody was really like bothering him there. Everybody was like, oh shit, that's Iceberg, that's raw as fuck. But no, they gave him respect and, you know what I'm saying, gave him space or whatnot. Thought that was cool. Shout out to Iceberg, man. Well, obviously I never told him. It's not like I know him personally, but I met him a couple times. Cool as fuck. And I like that he's on that comedic shit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is in the know. But yeah, bro. So I'm bringing this up that it's interesting how like a lot of people I met in my early, or like in my, especially in my Miami-Dade days, they ended up doing something musical. Like D Shim. D Shim is like the greatest, producer, engineer, all this type of shit from down south. He's like our Khaled low key. You know what I'm saying? And I remember meeting him at Miami-Dade, and I remember when his studio was just at I think he had a studio at his crib or his mom's crib. I don't really know, I don't remember necessarily the details, but I know at that time he was already producing and doing shit with people, right, from way back when. And I remember homies like Docious, fucking Mally, Exile, fucking the RP to D, man. That's where I met my New York homies at. That's funny, and my Miami-Dade days were like my Dipset days, low key. Cause like I used to be chilling with the homies, and they had the Click 139, and they from New York, bro. Most except Patty, Patty. Me and him were the Dade County dudes in the group, but yeah, bro, that's a whole different thing. We was competing on sneakers and shit. That's what we was on, bro. Yeah, I got the new Raging Bulls. Nah, I'm gonna get the Raging Bulls too. And then the homie Breezy. That's, bro. Oh man, a whole fucking different universe, bro. I was living at that time. But anyways, it's interesting to like see all these people that I knew and that were doing different things in like a similar cloth. Now fast forward, like, you know what I'm saying? You got the homies dropping projects and singles, and people working with different. You know what I'm saying? Like people have elevated and become their, the best versions of themselves, and to continue to elevate. So anyways, I'm giving all this backstory to say, right, that to show like my progression in this like my hip-hop timeline of like the inception of me actually starting to rap, trying stuff out, then going into releasing a project, going into performing. And then if we fast forward to like 2018, 2019, I know I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but the point that I was trying to make was, because we're talking about like performing and the business side of stuff, and kind of where I got turned off at for real when it came to the shit. So the next performance I had after that first performance, this lady named Miss Christie. This is white lady, cool as fuck, and her ex-husband was working at the call center, and the universe be universing, bruh, or God be godding, really. God be godding in the universe. I think that's even dope. He was like, yo, my he's like, yeah, my wife, she is a music manager. She be having artists perform this and the third. He was telling me about these artists, and then when I started looking up these artists, I was like, oh shit, like there's shit going on. I didn't know. So for like weeks he was trying to get me to tap in with her, but people just be saying stuff, so I be thinking it's like, all right, whatever, maybe he's capping or whatnot. So one day I'm outside in front of the call center. I think I'm smoking a black or some shit like that, and he pulled up, and the lady was in the car, and he introduced me to her. And then we have a conversation. She tells me what she does with her. She's like, yeah, I have an event. I have this actual event at South Beach that we perform in. And I'm like, what? Like, the idea of performing in South Beach felt so massive to me. Like, bro, I could perform at South Beach? Like, because I had one performance at the lounge, my first performance at the lounge, but this is like my first real performance now. So to go from like a little lounge in Sunset, which is like, in South Miami, to goddamn to South Beach was crazy. And the place, and now it's closed now, but it's called Jazz It. That shit used to be so fucking fire. I wonder if anyone remembers Jazz It. I have pictures of like the times we was performing out there and stuff. She used to be so fucking dope. But yeah, so then she was a real one, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I fucked with her heavy. Because I remember initially she was charging me to perform, which, you know, that's how I go in Miami at least. Because one of the homies moved somewhere else, and he was telling me how like it's different now when it come to like in some places it's different, meaning that like yeah, I might perform like some place, you know, you sell tickets to perform, or some people you perform for free, but Miami you gotta pay. Like you should, and maybe it's like that in other places, but some people tell me it's a little different, right? But here, they care if you bringing people to the club, and if they spend the money on alcohol, right? That's really what it is. And me being, I'm the hip hop guy, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying to make boom bap shit. I'm trying to be like Method Man and all this type of shit. I'm over here doing these type of songs in strip clubs and like all, you know what I'm saying? And I know I'm a little odd than the motherfucker. You know, it's funny, right? So when I first started performing, my bad, I know I'm kind of like, I'll get right back to the point we was going to. So when I first started performing, I noticed that heavy, like, damn, I'm doing this like traditional rap shit because it's what I love, and I'm thinking of people like Jay-Z and like I'm thinking about the goats, right? Because I got main character syndrome. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. I got main character syndrome like a motherfucker, and all my favorite should be main character, and it's not even the thing. It's not even a conscious thought. It's just what it be like. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, I'm like, man, the fuck, man, Jay's the greatest rapper ever. Like, if I make nothing like the Blueprint, this shit not good or whatever. This is how I'm thinking. So my cloth of stuff is just geared toward what I like, right? But then when I start performing, I'm noticing like a lot of artists that were performing locally were like rapping on stuff that was within the wave at the time. Like, especially imagine when like Kodak dropped for the first time. A bunch of up and coming artists was kind of stretching out that sound, which, you know, and I think in every fucking hood and fucking every 50 states there are cultural differences, right? Even in rapping, right? Like if you hear someone from New Orleans rap versus someone from Florida rap, you're gonna hear the differences in just tones and fucking slang and all this type of shit, right? So then you have, and then, but it's also, and I mean this from like a general perspective, because there's obviously people sound different and there's different, you know what I'm saying? Like, but there's also like a traditional sound, right? Like I would consider like Trick Daddy's is you know, the face of Miami rap. Like obviously Uncle Luke is the goddamn the pioneer of shit's Southern music in general, low key. I'm just saying, Uncle Luke is a pioneer of Southern rap in general, but that's not a conversation that I ain't gonna get into because I ain't trying to argue with no Atlanta niggas. But like Trick Daddy is like the face of Miami, you know what I'm saying? Face of Miami when it comes to like, you know, like rapping, right? Like the art of rap. So obviously, lineage wise, people that come after are gonna borrow and not, you know, not bite, but you know, it's a part, you know, it's you give birth, your son gonna have your traits, you know what I'm saying? Or your daughter gonna have your traits. So there's a traditional sound, and then you have people that break the mold, right? I feel like Denzel Curry is a perfect example of someone that's from Miami-Dade, but he's hip-hop as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And his influences transcend just the local sounds and stuff like that. That's why Denzel Curry has a worldwide appeal, because he didn't just stay in that niche pocket. But at the same time, I don't know, cause that's what I think about too. Cause I remember when I was going through my experiences as a local artist, right? Like the majority of the crowd, they finna champion the street shit and the gangster shit, right? And then I'll rap and they'll acknowledge, oh, he nice, but like people ain't fucking with it like that. And at first I'm like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh no, it must be the beats. I can't be rapping over these boom bap beats. Now I gotta rap over the trap beats. So I could, you know what I'm saying? And then that's my shit anyway, cause my favorite rapper rap on that type of shit too. So I was like, all right, cool. Maybe this is the lane that I need to go to. So you can hear it. Like if you hear Free Jewels is like great value Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Like the sound, like I'm just saying, That's crazy. I ain't trying to downplay my shit because Free Jewels might be my classic. Next is the WVR is my classic, low key. Maybe not now. I don't even know if it will be. I don't know. I'm just calling it now. WVR, the Stoke Band, is my classic. But Free Jewels is my OG classic, right? And it's not the best bars ever. It's not, but it's complete. It has a narrative, a story, a beginning, middle, end. And I think it's even ill to hear, like, the transition of what I thought was great then till now. Because, like, I kind of did. You know how J. Cole talks about he wanted his first album to be like that. Traditional classic rap. That's how I made Free Jewels. That's why I didn't do nothing. That's why it went wood. It went double wood. Man, it went oak tree. You know what I mean? Maybe better than it went oak tree. We ain't hit no medals yet, but we got it went oak tree. But anyways, but sonically and the beats and like the concepts and stuff, it's like I made it like it was like the blueprint or some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's like, I always make music from a place where I love. My bad, I should be looking at y'all, but I'm looking at the screen and it's easier for me to look at the screen. But I always make from a place where I love, so I'm gonna make what I love, right? But then I'm performing and noticing like, man, the crowd ain't really fucking with this shit like that. They trying to turn up and stuff like that. So then I started, like, so when you hear 111, I started, which is cool. It's kind of the flip of what WVR is. 111, I started with the more like 808 heavy songs and like rapping and shit like that. And it's funny too, because when I started making 111, that's when I was listening to, I think The Baby had just came out. The Baby been out. But when The Baby dropped, when I first was introduced to The Baby, I was like, yo, this dude is raw as fuck, bruh. And I'm biased too, cause like I'm a Taurus, bro. So I'm like my loyalty meter's always up. So if somebody fucks with somebody, if somebody that I fuck with fucks with something, I in turn fuck with it. Maybe not that extreme, like not, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'm a tap in. So like one of my closest homies, Cam, and now Fat Boy too. They moved to Charlotte. Like, well, Fat moved probably a couple years ago, but Cameron moved to Charlotte. I don't even know, it's been over 10 years, right? And I remember visiting Charlotte in when did 2014 Forest Hills drop? Let me see. When did 2014 Forest Hills drop? Because that's when I went to Charlotte for the first time. Because it had just came out. Let me see. 2014 Oh man, I'm really potting now, bruh. Don't worry, I'll have guests and all type of shit later on, bro. It's just me right now, and episode 0 is about my story. Then we can talk about other shit later. Okay, I bet 2014 Forest Hills Drive released December 9th of 2014. Damn, was it around Christmas time that we went up there? I think so. It had to be. Anyways, I'm saying this to say that that was the first, because I had missed the first trip to go see the homie. So then the second trip came around. I went to go visit the homie in North Carolina. I remember me and Fat, we took a road trip, and I think Jesus Piece was out at the time, if I'm not mistaken. So I probably had I had 3 CDs in my tape deck. I'm saying tape deck like a tape deck, but in my player I had Jesus Piece, I had Watch the Throne, and I had way more than 3. I had Jesus Piece, Watch the Throne. I think I had the Red Album, Blueprint. I had this. I was going through this phase because across the street from Alorica at the time, there was a music store, and they had a bunch of CDs for like $5. And I, you know what I'm saying, obviously I love music, so every day I would just walk in that bitch in my lunch break and find random CDs and shit like that. It's like a bump. So I think I had like All Eyes on Me. There's a Tupac CD I got in there, but I can't remember. Oh, it's funny. My mom had ordered me 7 Days of Machiavelli. My mom had ordered me the Machiavelli 7-Day Theory, the actual physical CD, and because my mom always finding some free shit. She's like, oh look, there's this coupon and I can get this free stuff, and I seem to have this Tupac CD, and I know you're a big Tupac fan. And then she ordered, and it was cool because when I got the package of the 7 days of the Machiavelli 7 days Machiavelli, the 7-Day Theory, it came from Compton. I thought it was so raw. I have a picture of it too. I'm like, yo, Bob, this came from this shit is from the West Coast. Like, this is amazing. Anyways, so we drove up listening to all that shit. Driving up. We probably heard Jesus Piece the most because that was like the hit. That was going crazy then because everyone was on Jesus Piece too. Like Kendrick's on Jesus Piece, fucking Cole's on Jesus Piece, Wayne, Big Sean. It's a great fucking album. It's a great body of work. Shout out to The Game. I got a feature with The Game. That's crazy. But anyways, we drove up there. See, I love that I got a podcast. I just talk for a long ass time. I got no interruption. Someone else will be like, get to the point already. But if you're engaged and you understand where I'm going, and I'm giving you out a long form content. Hopefully someone's listening to this at work or some shit and be like, damn, this is a very interesting story. Smart, bright young man. But anyways, where I had a fucking blast in goddamn Charlotte in 2014. Enjoyed it. I remember because 2014 Forest Hills had just dropped at the time. And I remember buying the CD at like a FYE or some shit like that. And again, as I told y'all before, and even earlier in the podcast, I wasn't. Actually, no, I didn't even get to finish my point. Damn. See, now I'm gonna listen to this back and be like, bro, yeah, it's be going everywhere. There's a point in time that the artists that I really fuck with now, like Kendrick, Cole, Sean, all this, I was intentionally not listening to them because I was finding myself as an artist, right? But then the homies would be like, bro, you're being hella stubborn because you still listening to Wayne and you still listening to all this 90s music. And I was like, yeah, you right. And not like I wasn't listening to because if it was, if it was a hit or if it was something that I really loved or whatever the case may be, of course I listened to it, I was tapped in. But like, I feel like you're not a fan if you're not listening to like the discographies and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's artists that I might have listened to the album once and there's a couple songs that I like from the album and then that'll just be it, right? But I won't consider myself a super fan unless I'm like really tapped into the discography and shit like that. So at the time, like, I was kind of like avoiding listening to them because they were so fucking ahead of me, and I'm over here in my ego, and I'm like, nah, I gotta be the best version of me, so I don't want to be influenced by them, and which is stupid because I feel like I missed out on years of phenomenal raps from Ab Soul because my stupid ass wasn't listening. I mean, I listened, but then I didn't really listen or deep dive like I could have. Same thing with like Sean and Kendrick. Like 2014, 2013, 2012, I was kind of, even though I loved the songs that, you know what I mean, like, but at the same, well, anyways, so I bought, as a matter of fact, it's funny, I gave my 2014 Forest Hills, to Pimp a Butterfly, my original copies of the CD to an old supervisor I had, because he was a big hip hop head, but he was an old school head, and he was from New York too, so he was like, oh, yeah, we having conversations about freaking Ghostface Killer and this, that, and the third, and the 5%ers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of dialogue we have. He's the one who put me on the Helter Skelter. Anyways, this is neither here nor there. Point is, I had a great fucking time in Charlotte. I bought 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and it's like a 14-15 hour drive from fucking Charlotte to Miami, and we listened to Cole's album No Lie on repeat for the whole fucking trip down. Amazing. And then I remember thinking to myself like, bro, you need to stop being stubborn and listen to what's going on new so you can actually tap in, bro. You know what I'm saying? And actually see the fucking gauge. Like, that's what people get older and they be so stuck on the past and like, oh yeah, well back in my day. Nah, there's some fire shit going on right now. Like, that's how I feel about Youngboy. And I don't want to compare NBA Youngboy because NBA Youngboy is the first NBA Youngboy and the only NBA Youngboy. But it's culturally, right, what I feel, how the young kids feel about NBA Youngboy is how we was feeling like about Lil Wayne. Like, no, I'm telling you right now, when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, not just me, you couldn't tell nobody in our age group anything about Wayne. That's what we grew up on. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was fly. He had the baddest females. He was rapping, all this type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He had like, Wayne is the fucking GOAT. Anyways, right? So like, that's how these. So I would never, you know, what I mean, me understanding that, because even my ex's little bro, we pretty tight. Youngboy is his favorite rapper, right? He's the one who put me on the Youngboy. I forgot what song and I forgot what album, but I think the song was called like Height 38 or some shit. I'm probably getting it completely wrong, but I was like, oh, this is actually pretty gas. So the point is that I'm not trying to box my creativity in. That's not the word. I'm not trying to not give a chance to what the youth brings forth to the table. You get what I'm saying? I do think it's important to keep tradition and certain things important. I think that's why like lyricism is making a comeback. That's why you have like the new generation of leaders, right? I feel like that's what I do appreciate about hip hop now. I feel like the new generation of leaders are stepping up and taking the forefront, right? And are doing great things. You know what I'm saying? This is why I appreciate seeing like a Red Bull cipher with Joey, Sean and Ab Soul, because you're seeing the lead like even though they're from the previous generation, low key, but they're the leaders of today. They're the hip hop leaders of today. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the same thing with like, you know, like with a Chance or goddamn so many 2 Chainz, bruh. 2 Chainz is one of my favorite rappers ever. Pretty girls like Trap Music is one of my favorite albums of all time. Like, I could play that whenever. So now I was just thinking about this the other day. I remember Collie Grove and Untitled Unmastered drop on the same day, and I was just like fucking it was Christmas. I'm like, what? Wayne, 2 Chainz, and Kendrick dropped today? Oh no, I'm about to have a good day today. I don't give a fuck. Bruh, man. But anyways, bro, I keep going for the point. But I'm glad if y'all still tapped in with me and still talk and still rocking with me. I appreciate that. So, me performing and going into all these different spaces and learning about these different things and having these different experiences, it kind of turned me off when I realized that it's all business. Especially where I'm from, it just felt like it's all business. If you're not bringing a crowd or if you can't pay to perform, we're not fucking with you. It don't matter how good the songs is. It don't matter none of that, right? And my problem is I'm a loner. I have my core friends that I love. I know a lot of people, but I like to move by myself for many reasons. One, I ain't trying to give motherfuckers rides when we gotta leave. That shit be annoying as fuck. Hey, cool kid, you can give us a ride. Hey, Amaury, can you give us a ride? I ain't trying to do none of that. So if I'm moving dolo, I could stay as long as I get to a place as early as I want to and leave as late as I want to, or you know, vice versa. And whatever, right? So that those things never work for me. You get what I'm saying? But more so it's just like, and you know how shit go, bruh. Like there's a lot of ego in rap. And competitive energy, as it should be. You get what I'm saying? But I do also think that there's so many nice motherfuckers from Miami, bro. Like especially down south. Down south got some killers on that mic, bro. We even got there's even a rap battle scene, bro, which is crazy. I didn't even know. Shout out to my dog Forbes because he's always put me on into like the Miami like local battle scene shit. And there's a lot of dope. Even back in the day, I remember watching Sky High at a rap battle, and like it was somewhere in the Ranger, bro. Like I just know it was on US1, like heading further down south. And I remember like, bro, obviously I'm biased because like he from Paran, and I was raised in Paran, and hearing like the crowd chant, because you know how battle rappers they be having they like, I don't know if it's called the go-to move or like they signature and shit like that, and like they'll chant. I was like, oh shit, this man is from Paran. He's rap battling and he's rapping, right? He is like he actually got bars and he got a chant that the crowd know. Oh nah, bro, that is insane, bro. And I remember specifically because a bunch of New York or people from Jersey came to, there's somewhere from like East Coast came down and was rap battling, and I know they was like, yo, we didn't even know these Miami rappers was rapping like that. They thought to hear Trick Daddy and Plies and forgot we got JT Bunnies and shit down here too. But bruh, man. So anyways, so for a while, like once I started seeing this, all like people just really care about like it's a popularity contest. It's not about the art. It kind of was like, bruh. Like, why am I trying so hard if the people that are not trying so hard are getting better results? But then it's like, do you want fast food or do you want like something cooked right? And I want something cooked right, but I didn't know how to all the way cook all the way. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I remember there was a point in time, like, even because I'm telling you, I overexerted. Like, right before COVID, like that year before COVID, it was like my prime year when it came to like performing and being outside. Because I was doing 3 different things. I was performing, I was doing background music video shoots, and I was acting at the same time. So I was acting with Francie put me on to acting. That's when I first got introduced to doing anything with acting. I'm performing consistently because there's always something to do on an event network or some shit like that. Oh, Iceberg is having a thing at the Ice House. At the, I said the Ice House. The goddamn, is it the Ice House? I'm tripping. The Live House. My bad. Berg having something at the Live House. Oh, there's an event happening at goddamn not Finger Licking. What was the little spot in Miami Beach next to Finger Licking that's a part of it? I forgot. Something lounge. Like, there's always these events and stuff going on, so you could go there and whatever happens, happens. That's how I used to look at it. Because once I started realizing there's so much stuff going on, then I was like, man, shit, I got to be out there and see what opportunities could take place. And to a fault, because once I dropped my first tape and I realized there's stuff going on outside, I'm like, oh, I'm really going to be outside. That's why I got a bunch of pictures with a bunch of different artists from back in the day, because I was like, oh, I'm networking. Maybe somebody could put me on, which obviously no one could put you on. Like, the fuck, that shit, the putting someone on doesn't exist. I mean, yes, there's cosigns, and yes, people who champion support, but like, reality just doesn't change immediately because someone puts you on. And I probably overindulged in that. And whatever, bro. I was just mishandling money and time and all that shit type of thing. I was just like, I gotta be outside. I was taking every opportunity that I can get and doing everything that I can, because it felt so close. That was like the first time in my life where I felt like, oh my God, I'm knocking on the door and things are happening and I'm meeting people and I'm in these environments and I'm performing in these different places and, you know, so on and so forth. And then COVID hit and that shit shut everything down. Which is crazy because I was up in COVID. I was getting money. I ended up learning about crypto and not to say now like I'm fucking making crazy money. Like I came up and I kind of disconnected because I got a little comfy, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But anyways, bro. So having an understanding how that shit work, it turned me off from wanting to participate in that, even though it is important because me mismanaging my money is like, bro, if I gotta pay $150 to perform every time I perform, and there's 3 performances this week, that means I gotta come up on 5. No, I'm lying. That boy can't math. $450 just to perform. But now I gotta take consideration. Shit, if I'm gonna perform, I need to smoke. You know what I'm saying? I was like all this type of stuff that's extra that I probably need. I'm factoring in that really not important at the time, and I was just I was making good money and spending it trying to follow my dreams, and a piece of me, like at the time, I'm doing all this and I'm putting all this work and I'm not getting the results that I want. I know a piece of me felt like, damn, bro, am I wasting my time? Because my day ones, my friends, motherfuckers having kids for the first time around this time in their life, motherfuckers bought their first house, doing things, you know what I'm saying, and becoming better versions of themselves. And I was like, all right, well, my version of that is just chase my dream, and eventually these things are gonna manifest. And turns out, like, you know, shit, episode 0 of the podcast. But you get what I'm saying? So there was like, damn, did I miss out on my chance of like having like a family or like having something serious for chasing my dream? Or like, you know, because I want to keep better. You know, I mean, obviously now I think I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Whatever God wants to happen, God is gonna happen. I'm just gonna do everything in my power to be the best version of myself, and I trust that God will bring opportunities, people, you know, things into my universe that will help me transition into the next space. Cause Lord, I need help, but that's a whole another conversation. Yeah, bro. I remember feeling that, like, damn, bro, did I fuck up? You know, even like, you know, thinking about relationships that I had that like maybe this could have stayed, or maybe this could have, you know, this could have continued being if I've, you know, became the man I needed to be at the time. Cause I'm a big ass kid, but now, I mean, even going into 30 years old, I still wasn't thinking about, all right, bro, how am I gonna financially free myself? And then when I did put action into something and got good results out of it, doing it the wrong way, that's a horrible. One of the best piece of advice I ever got is, well, I don't know if this is advice, but one of the worst things that you can do is getting the right results, doing it the wrong way. Like, if I would have randomly got like a hit or some shit in my early 20s, I would have no rap career right now. Why? Because one, I didn't know nothing about business. Two, I was trash, right? And three, it just wasn't the time. But saying that to say that when I came up on some money wise, when I came up, I got the right results doing it the wrong way, and then I fumbled that shit. I was up 30K and all I got is diamond teeth to show for it. I love my diamond teeth. That's what I'm like when I go to the debt, cause you know I ain't up yet, so I can't get like another pair. This, you know what I'm saying? This is love. Not love. I paid for the motherfucker, but I'm saying like I get a goal. I was like, if I could buy it 3 times over, I'm gonna buy it. And then when I got to that goal, I was like, oh shit, it's real. I'm gonna order my first diamond. If it wasn't for that Dallas trip, I would not have gotten this bunny. I'll tell you that. That's a whole nother story for another day. But yeah, I fucked it up. I was up like 30 racks, and I remember coming back from Dallas and like, all right, nah, bro, I'm finna get my apartment, I'm finna buy my furniture, I'm finna get my car, and then I'm finna keep, you know, trying to flip this shit. And no, I didn't do none of that. I mean, I did all of that outside of the most important one, was to continue the thing going. But again, you live and you learn, and you know, I hope anyone that's taking the time out to listen to this take notes on all this bullshit that I'm doing wrong and just do way better than me. And I promise you'll be at a way better space than I am. Because I know, given if I had the ambition and drive and confidence and the discipline that I have now in my early 20s, then maybe things could have been different. But I had to experience the things I experienced. If not, then what the fuck, bro? None of this would have actually taken place. Know what I mean? I'm grateful. I'm in Puerto Rico now, bro. And I'm saying, like, I'm, you know, even though I'm bullshitting a little bit, bro, I've been trying to find balance and, you know what I'm saying, and save and shit like that, and hopefully, you know, whatever the next big thing is to come. But, oh, sorry, going back in the thought, financial freedom is something I should have focused on right after high school, so that way when I'm in the space where I have constant income or good income, I can invest in myself properly. You know what I'm saying? My plan B, C, D, E, F, G is to make plan A work, and plan A work is to pursue my dreams, right? However that looks like, I'm gonna leave that up to God. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like, how, you know, I know where I want to get to, but how the journey there, that's all up to God. I'm just gonna do my best to keep my mind clear so I could hear that inner voice and follow the signs, and at the same time do my best, because that's all I can do. I'm starting a podcast. Why? Because one, I think it'll be a great way for me to talk to y'all, as I said earlier in the podcast. But two, you know, just I can do it. Why not? Just add on to it. You know what I'm saying? Add on to everything that we do, and the goal is to build the brand and make it and you know, make everything holistic. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I would love to get back into my acting bag too, but I don't even know what that look like over here. I'm in Puerto Rico, bro. I can barely read Spanish. The fuck? I actually lost a role because they just hear me speak Spanish, and like, not here, but when I was in Miami, I had the shit to be a part of like some fucking like TV show or some shit like that. And the lady's like, oh my God, we love you, but we need to know if you could do this in Spanish as well. And I was like, yeah. And I learned that from Will Smith. Even if you don't think you can do something, just say yeah. You can do it anyway. And then I tell you, I did like 30 takes trying to read this shit, and you think it's natural because I'm Latin. Nah, bruh. I'm the only person I speak Spanish. Well, I mean, now in Puerto Rico I got to, but when I was back home, the only person that got me speaking Spanish is my mom. And even like, I talk to my mom like this most of the time, just like this, cause she know me. That's how I am. Been like this my whole goddamn life. But yeah, bruh. it, this journey has been a tremendous one. I know I'm kind of giving y'all the broad strokes of like the stories and stuff, and the cool thing is once I start like inviting people from my past and shit like that, and whatever, and we could have like cool stories and stuff like that. But this is episode 0. I can't wait to have like a guest on and kind of have someone to like, you know, bounce off of and stuff like that too. That's gonna be ill. The homies definitely be on one of the days for sure. And yeah, this is episode 0. Man, how long we been on live? Let's see. My bad. Whoa, first live, 1 hour and 44 minutes. I hope someone loves my podcast. Like, I hope like loves my podcast or loves me as whoever, and they're happy as fuck. Like, yo, this man's first episode was 1 hour and 40 minutes. I'm gonna sit at work and listen to this for 1 hour and 42 minutes. 44. Oh shit, I can't count. Anyways, y'all, it's here we go. Episode 1. Well, 0. I'm gonna be recording every Sunday, which means I'll be live every Sunday, probably around this. I only jumped on late today because I had to set up the OBS thing or whatever. Like, I'm still getting used to how to like set up everything and whatnot, but yeah, this shit was fucking gas. Excuse me. But anyways, man, this is episode 0. Oh, so what we're gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna play y'all. Oh, this is gas. I'm gonna play y'all the intro to the album. I'm gonna play y'all the intro to the album. I'm just gonna play out how the intro starts, cause I don't wanna. I ain't finna go into the skits and stuff like that. I will another time. Maybe when I have like Zana on here, which she played my ex on the thing. I'll play like some of the audio clips from that, like the raw files. But all right, hold up. It feel like heaven to me. It feel like heaven to me. Fuck a bust down a rich meal, gain value. 5 gold chains, you know I idolize Nipsey. Polo everything except my motherfucking sneakers. I want bad bread ones on my feet, my G. Wagon mad black with the chrome on the trimmed up folds on that bitch, cause I grew up in the crib. Dedicated step of smooth flows in the kitchen. Got it 101 queen with a cake washing dishes. Sea moss in my fridge, liquid gold in my cup. Young walk around throwed. I ain't gotta roll up. Connected to the source of my sauce divine. Turn water into wine with the way I use the force. Truth. I know that this written in the stars, as above is below. This flow from the gods. I know that you feel the connection. Words vibrate like medu nature. It feel like heaven to me. Oh my god, so fucking raw. Damn, this goddamn. I want to show more than I can. Y'all see though, man, I am so in love with how this project is sounding. Wait, what missing? Let me see something. Oh, okay. Yeah, but something is missing. Alright, hold on. Alright, so I would show y'all. I would show it on the screen, but I'm insecure about how unprofessional it look, and someone that's like in the industry like, that shit is hard. What are you doing? So let me do it wrong, which I'm contradicting what I'm saying now. But let me make it sound as great as I can, do it my way, and then I'll cause I gotta use my tools, bruh. And I ain't gonna go into the details of like, you know what I mean? But let me use my tools, man. So I bet. Hold on. Let me just show y'all the intro how it starts with like the movie version of the album. Y'all ready? I can't take it. It won't work. It's too much for my computer to handle right now. Oh, that sucks. I really wanted to share that with y'all, bruh. Cause I don't got the audio tape saved. It's still saved as like his project and shit like that. So, dang. Now this shit tripping out. Oh. But anyways, I think this is a great episode 0. I'm so excited for what's to come. And I hope you fuck with the stuff, man. I know like my little setup is pretty straight. I got the shit above my head with the little stuff, and you know, we'll see how everything goes. But I just want to say thank you guys for tapping in. And I'm gonna work on the intro and outro. You know what I'm saying? Any suggestions? Leave it down in the comment below. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that cool shit. It's your main man in effect, Amaury Love. This is the Amaury Love Podcast, episode 0. Believe it. Holla at y'all tomorrow, man.